guys, good afternoon, and thank you for being here. Really love the way our team closed out the game after a fast start, and then kind of slugged around a little bit. And credit to Duke, their players and their staff for having a good plan to slow us down some. But a lot of it also, we got to do a better job. We had some miscues that were uncharacteristic, and just regrouped at halftime. And the decision was simple: let's play Hurricane football and play as a team, play together. Put forth our best effort and execute at a high level, and really proud of our guys for that second half performance and taking control of the game and being 1-0 on the day. Questions, please.
This is your third time this year erasing a double-digit deficit. You were asked this after Vatech and after Cal, but now you're an expert at it. Why does this team never get right?
Well, I think a couple things. They know they're capable. That's number one. There's a lot of trust and confidence in each other. Number two, football now, especially with technology, the cat and mouse game, the adjustment back and forth game is really different. It's a whole new level, right? You saw it. They were creating some matchups during the second quarter that were difficult to contend with, and we had to change some things up and disguise some things a little bit better, and then just flat out execute on some other things. So there's just no flinch in the group, regardless of a bad play, an injury, a tough call we have to deal with, a deficit. So it's awesome being around this group. And chapter 9 ended in 1-0, and after today it's on to chapter 10.
Cam has gotten obviously a ton of attention all year. Now he's tied the single season record here at a place called Quarterback U, which is a big deal. X is right there alongside him on top of his list in the record books. Just how nice was it that they get to share kind of this moment? You got the win, obviously, which is the most important thing for Cam and X to share a day like this.
Touchdown back, and X, they both played their behinds off. They always do. They have a unique chemistry. But I think the quarterback room and all the receivers and tight ends do, which is very different than it was 2 years ago. That was very difficult. It was a hurdle, a mountain to get over, quite honestly. And I just think a lot of good people and hard work come together to make it happen. Those two guys, as much as they're gaining all these accolades, they don't talk about it. Do they want it? Do they think it's? I'm sure they do. I think we all like to be recognized and rewarded and praised, but that's not the end-all be-all for them. They want to win, and I think the best thing that they do is when we're behind like we were, is the way they just go back and forth on the sideline, encouraging their teammates, pushing their teammates, and just knowing and trusting that if we just keep playing, we're going to find a way.
How much have you seen them build that chemistry since Cam got here, just from when he got here to now, just the two of them being able to build the bond, the trust, and both on and off the field?
I think they build, and I think it's neat to watch them go at it because they'll fight like an old couple as well now. And that's a good thing. That means there's a competitive edge to both of those guys where they want to win, they want to be right all the time, and they're not afraid to be headstrong and to be an alpha about it. Excuse me. And so that's what you see. You see it on the practice field. You see it in extra reps after practice, and then in turn on game day, it shows up. It shows up often. We had a couple drops today. Now, we had a couple really critical ones as a team that we got to get back and work on. Our contested catch rate, I think, was a little bit better in previous games. It wasn't great today, but that's okay. We have a chance to get back and work on that and work on some of our third down stuff and tighten up our passing game.
Mario, you mentioned it a minute ago, but what did Duke do to make things difficult for you when they went on that 28-3 run, and then how did you guys adjust even on defense?
It created matchups. We were playing a lot of man, some switch routes, pick routes, tailback adjusted out of the backfield, saw the linebacker walk out there on them. That's a tough match. And by the way, great throw by their quarterback, Malik Murphy, and some great catches by them too. They had some snags that were pretty impressive. And then sometimes in 1 or in 3, our free safety made a couple of great plays, and some of the middle open stuff. I think you saw that too. We're a little bit more diverse with our coverages in the second half. And I think when you play a team like that is so reliant on the quick game, and you saw they had 2 3-and-outs, but then they started chucking the ball down the field and made some plays. So a matter of adjusting back and forth. That's what we saw. They did credit to them and their staff. They did a good job with that. And credit to our defensive line. Those guys really showed up. They were a big impact in that second half.
Mario, Jadis Richard obviously suffered an injury, looked pretty bad, but he was having a pretty good game up until that point. Made some great plays. Just talk about that young man. And
yeah, he's a great one. He got hurt. We'll evaluate and see where it's at, and prayers out to him and the family and whatnot when you know.
All right, a guy
fluctuate.
that stands out for me is Roman Federici, the freshman. I saw his name called. What are your thoughts about the way he played today?
Him?
Yeah.
He always plays really well.
Yeah.
That guy is raised like the way you should raise your son. He's on the field. He's an assassin off the field. He's a gentleman, super polite young man, hard worker. He's always finding ways to make himself, his teammates better. Very quiet, keeps to himself, but his game speaks loudly. And he's a guy that we've depended on since game one, and he's exceeded expectations.
Can you talk about Xavier and his impact today and the significance of what he did today?
Yeah, well, Xavier, I think, has an impact on our program every day. Today was special for the team because of the win, number one, the most important thing, and for him, becoming the leading receiver in Miami Hurricane history is also just a monumental accomplishment. So credit to him for all that hard work. Credit to him and his family for all the sacrifices made to allow him to one day become a Miami Hurricane, and again to his teammates for being such a great supporting cast because, again, number one, the W is the most important thing. Number two, being the all-time leading receiver of Miami is a really big thing.
You said the quarterback room was a mountain to get over, and you look at a day like today, you can see 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. You talk
Not the quarterback room, the chemistry between the quarterbacks and the wide receiver. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what I meant. I meant it was there was no connection. You know what I mean? Like you know, in the summer not in the summer. That's not true. It was before that. When Cam got here, first thing he wanted to do was get everybody's number, everybody's contact information, so he could round them up and spend time together. And when one of the guys said, "Well, you know, I'm gonna be throwing with a couple NFL guys in Fort Lauderdale," he said, "Well, you better be playing in the NFL this year because I ain't throwing the ball to you. They better throw the ball to you." And that receiver came back down in a hurry. Why is that important? Because when you have command of a room and you have the performances and the ability to back up that type of command, that's strong. And then there's buy-in. And then when alphas get together, you know how it is, man. They start banging heads, right? And the key is getting these alphas that are banging heads to keep working together and work their way to go against the team on the other side. And that's what Cam and all those wide receivers have done.
Mario, when you came here and laid out what you hoped to be the blueprint for what you were trying to do, did you envision this level of offense? Did you ever see it was that you would build something that would average 46, 47, whatever it is, points a game?
Well, I mean, it's always the goal, right?
But that even, I mean,
It's
That's a lot.
unique, right? What's going on is unique, but again, it kind of works hand in hand. I think if you look at the way we're playing, there's a lot that goes to it, right? Time of possession has gotten really high. Yards per play is really high. We've had some ups and downs on defense, but either way, we find a way to play well when it really, really matters. And so we complement each other really well. You know, we try to, sometimes the play count really favors the offense, which really helps the defense as well. And it allows you to just push ahead and get teams uncomfortable. You put pressure on them to try to keep up. You know, when we went up by a second score by 15 or 16, there's a lot of pressure on the other side to keep up, and that's when mistakes sometimes happen, and we're there to get them, and that's when it really starts, the magic starts to happen. So to your question, which I didn't answer at all, it's a great standard to set. You know, let's keep pushing, let's keep getting better.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, guys, thank
Thanks,
you very
Coach.
much.